Hey everybody! The devs have blessed us with more content for the game this week, and naturally my first instinct is to increase the size of the challenge I've bestowed upon myself. And I know, these 3 new campaigns are technically Age of Empires 1, but it's played on the second one, so it counts. Also, I was gonna say it goes without saying that there are spoilers, but not really because this happened about 2000 years ago, and I can't be accused of spoilers for something like that. Anyways, today we take on Trajan, one of the last decent Roman emperors, in his campaign around the Mediterranean. Right off the bat, we are sent to France to crush a civil war between Saturninus and some rebel raiders, all while having to protect Emperor Domitian. In order to stop this shenanigan, either one of the enemies must be crushed under the wall of shields. The start here was very rocky, since this is not really Age of Empires 2 and it's been over 2 decades since I've played the first one. There are Roman legions scattered around the map that must be visited, and I imagine they'll join the party. The storage pit can research chainmail? That's silly. Our scout reaches the first legion and they join Trajan. And then a second one. I've noticed a blue camp on the far west and send the new legions to deal with them. The ancient battle starts between swordsmen and chariots. I miss my paladins right now. Meanwhile, another legion fights another camp. We must rush to crush. The final legion join and we can march towards the rebel camp. The army gathers in front of their camp and everyone is itching to start blasting. Jesus Christ, this Pathian is something else. Despite losing the catapults, the army pushes into the city with relative ease. All while the other 2 legions push from the west. Once the gates are dealt with, the town center, or at least I think it's the town center, becomes the target. Yeah, it was the town center, and the rebels resigned, and the clock stops at an awesome 17 minutes and 52 seconds. In the second chapter, the game separates us from our best buddy Hadrian with the river, and we are tasked with setting the Sebulus on fire for reasons I didn't really pay attention to. Some targets are given to us as we must supply Hadrian with resources. We plow through an ambush with ease and are given resources. We march towards the first village and it doesn't offer much resistance and we can outtrain soldiers in the barracks. I was wondering when the backtalking from the clearly inferior enemy of the empire would start. On our way to the next village, we get ambushed again, but not even an afterthought for Trajan's legion. Hadrian researches for us with every village pillaged, because this isn't easy enough as it is. Another village taken, and now we have archery ranges and docks, but I think I'll pass on the docks. On to the next village, and even though they have a catapult, no major threat is posed, and we conquered it as well. And we captured the next one as well without troubles. Hadrian's camp is really nice to look at. More empty threats from the Sebulus, I'm gonna flush his head on my Roman toilets. We push to the next village, and no amount of catapults can stop Trajan. All villages captured, only the Sebulus left to be taken care of. Oh, you mean this goat here outside your walls? Catapults work on the gates, and then on the towers. And the army can walk in freely. Hadrian is working hard on new weapons, and even though it's not needed at the moment, I appreciate his effort. The Sebulus city is getting torn apart, and I notice a nice shiny building next to the forest. All catapults attack it, and it drops like a toddler. And with his town center in shambles, the Sebulus surrenders, not before running away like the chicken he is. Roman repute done in 23 minutes and 15 seconds. Heads Will Roll is probably the best name for a Roman mission, especially when we find the Sebulus again, and he, once more, refuses to bow down for the Emperor. I'm still very confused about this. You upgrade walls on the granary? For the sake of nostalgia, I make walls. Nothing much happens at the start of the scenario, as I just work to make my economy sustainable for the war machine. And he's back again with the threats. Oh buddy, I'm gonna enjoy parading your head around Rome. It's very satisfying how well the farms fit around the town center. Very symmetric. I scout their base and of course it's defended by double walls and towers. Only one way to find out if that is a problem, marching towards it. Oh, you want a duel? Fuck yeah, let's do it. And he runs away instantly. A bit disappointed the aqueduct went down like this and not like dominoes. Legionnaires run in and start a remodeling of the chicken city. And as the Dacian king commits toaster in the bathtub, the third scenario is over, in 25 minutes and 11 seconds. Trajan never cared much about politics. War was his hobby, and once he got a bit uncomfortable with the Roman politics bullshit, he went after Parthia, Rome's old enemy. They know how much Hadrian and I care for each other and always try to split us up. But I will destroy Armenia, just so we can be next to each other. Oh, thank you, Nabathea. Aren't you the sweetest, low-poly, barely recognizable woman? The legion marches towards Armenia. This is probably the coolest battle start I've seen. Armenia somehow snipes a conversion on my catapult, damn black magic switching the allegiance of wood. You can clearly see here where the devs wanted a castle, but had to settle for generic 2 towers inside walls. Is he talking about Alexander? I cannot keep up with any of these timelines. The Legion marches forward and finds more Armenian buildings, which are instantly engaged by the insane range of the catapults. The push continues as we find ourselves blocked by double walls and a mountain pass, but nothing like flying rocks can deal with. We march on and set ever inside Armenia and their peasants. Shortly after, Armenia becomes the newest province of Rome. We're almost there, only one gate remaining and Hadrian and I will be united. Oh yeah, look at the sick red-purple alliance marching to beat some sense into Osro's head. We capture an Armenian base and we can finally take control of our own resources. The catapults get to work on their walls, whose layout make me very confused. It all looks like walls and gates at the same time. As we manage to finally push forward into the city, Nabatea decides her head is not far enough up her ass and invites us to push it further. Of course, kind lady, I'll push so far up whoever takes it out will be the new King Arthur. There you go. Happy? The audacity of some people. But on good news, we can now push into Parthia from 2 fronts. Blitzkrieg at its finest. And we level all things blue. Okay, but can you give up since the city is mine now? Parthia finally resigns, checking another victory for Trajan in 40 minutes and 16 seconds. The final chapter of Trajan's saga pits homeboy Hadrian and I against the heavily fortified city of Tezifon. Like a bear on PCP, we murder everything possible on the first village we encounter and capture it to be our headquarters. Not long after, Hadrian the Man does the same on the north side of the map, and we are assigned some enclaves to destroy. And we get on our way to destroy the first one. Piece of cake that allows us to train cavalry. On to the next one, and it also falls with ease. We pass by Hadrian's camp to pick them up and continue on the journey to kill everyone. Only one enclave missing, and we can start raising Tezifon. Dooming you, I can assure you that. We stumble upon a lot of Parthian buildings outside of their walls and raise them all. Hadrian is angrier than me and starts the assault on the city. We destroy the final enclave and move further south to liberate the trading outpost from the Parthian grasp. Because the hints mention boats, I built some to help, and there's a bridge. We storm the outpost, but have to split as the Parthians come further aid. Time to build another dock and sacrifice the ships in anger. What is he talking about? Are we in India? The Legion is ready and on the way to the enemy gates. Their defense crumbles to the power of the Roman catapults, and we slowly enter the city. Wow, aren't you a sneaky fuck, Mr. Horseman? The first assault goes poorly, and we are forced to retreat. I then notice the Parthians are building a wonder, and I just can't have that. We storm in the city a second time, breaking all catapults and major buildings on the way, and reach the wonder with less than 30% left to be built. Major crisis averted. But the second army can't level everything before dying. And another fresh batch of legionnaires is on the way. That was very satisfying to watch. Parthia continues to be remodeled as we level everything that isn't walls. We march into the small island with the docks, but the fucking ships make it impossible for us to finish everything off. And we are forced to cook a new batch of soldiers. Little island dealt with, and we move on to scout the outside of their walls for stragglers slowing us down. Some villagers found chopping wood and immediately dealt with. Are the legions really slow, or the villagers really fast? Tonight, on questions I don't care enough to look up the answer. We destroy a lost town center and kill the remaining villagers, forcing Tezifon to finally resign, and the mission ends in 55 minutes and 26 seconds. Total runtime, 2 hours and 42 minutes. Now I'm not entirely sure if the campaign was short, or I'm finally learning how to play the objective and might have a chance to have some good speedruns. This was very new and unique. Playing Age of Empires 1 again was weird and very new to me after only playing the second one for forever. I also like that we finally have a competent and loyal ally in a campaign. Hadrian was the best. I don't know if it's just me, but I really felt hooked by the story and made me feel like I was really commanding a legion. Can't wait to try the other two. But for now the partial time is at 52 hours, 7 minutes and 16 seconds. A small increase for a full campaign. I see it as an absolute win. I'm really digging this Italy vibe. I might go explore the south a bit. Maybe Sicily.